Welcome back to the Speak Your Piece podcast. My name is Ian McNaughton. Scott Konkin is here with us to do some late night thoughts. This is a kind of a part two to our Fuck Around podcast where Scott and I have been chatting for nearly 3 hours up to this point.
Yeah.
So we just figured we'll just start recording and maybe something will happen.
Yeah, this spurred, we just want to have a discussion about the brand, and we ended up getting into all kinds of topics. We started talking like 9:15 p.m.
Yeah, after the Silver Tips game was over.
I had to do Saturday selections, the winners, and shout out to our five winners.
Anyways, you did the selections. You tell me who won tonight.
I did. So let me go count again. I'm pretty sure it's 6 winners, but yeah, 1, 2.
By the way, if my audio sounds worse than our original Fuck Around pod, it's because I'm now recording with hardwood tile below me, not the carpet that I was in my room in Squamish yesterday. I'm back in Burnaby, by the way. Shout out Burnaby.
Yeah, there you go. Recording late night Saturday night. Canucks game got canceled. The Canucks are they're obliterated by COVID. Let's just say that.
It's a sensitive topic to bring up on a Saturday night when things are going so well.
Hey, I just mentioned it briefly. We'll talk about other things. We talked about we talked about how I don't like to talk.
So pretty much in the entire time that we've started talking, A New Hope started and finished, and now we are both watching The Empire Strikes Back on the background on Showcase. Boy, it's so funny, but it just fucking is.
And see, that's just the essence of a pandemic right there. You can't go out. There's nothing you can do. Star Wars is on. That's just what you're going to watch. It's just, I'm taking notes for online school right now, just by the way, while we're doing this podcast. So, yeah, it's the
other best part about this is that we haven't been, or at least I haven't been drinking. I don't know about you and what you've been, if you've drank water. I had a cup of tea. We haven't even been drinking tonight. We've just been chatting for 3 hours about bullshit.
Pretty much. It's very I don't know. I think honestly we probably just needed to have a good chat. It's been way too long. We just haven't seen each other much. And for those of you that know us well, Ian and I have been best friends since probably like grade 10, grade 9, grade 10. Great. Somewhere that range. Grade 4. Back, yeah. But
I was gonna say people like actually like knew Ian and Scott like grade 10. Like I think that was when like we were finding our peaks.
Exactly, and that people So again, with COVID, I haven't seen Ian since last October before my birthday. So it's been a long time.
So basically, we probably shouldn't have, but we did anyways. We hung out. We watched the Seahawks game on the Sunday of Canadian Thanksgiving. And do you remember how that game ended?
I do remember with a last-second touchdown win. I still have the video of you selling like unbelievably hard. You hit my hand so hard, I could feel it for a couple of days after.
Please send me that video. But so if you don't remember, the Seahawks, I think either went 4-0 or 5-0 after that win. I feel like they went 5-0. And then they went into the
they were doing well. The first half of the Seahawks season was like unreal.
And the first half of that game was dog shit because we were watching the basketball game and they had like not even 100 yards offense that game.
That's true. Well, that was during the NBA Finals, wasn't it?
Yes, we watched the Lakers. We watched the Lakers win the championship that game.
Yeah. Right.
And we watched the Seahawks come back out and like down 2 touchdowns, come back against Minnesota. That was fucking cool. Great times.
Great times. It was a good game.
Also, if you're listening to this, depending on, it might have already happened by the time this comes out, Big Eats tea tasting coming up here soon. Let us know what tea you think I should taste. It doesn't have to be these 4. I just have 4 at my house. Actually, I think I have more than this. This is all just the stuff I brought out that's open. There is more in our cupboard that isn't open that I could try, but I don't want to open something new just to try it once, if you get what I mean. Like, if something's already open, you finish that, and then you get to the stuff that isn't open.
For sure. It's, again, in the grocery store is still open. You can still go out and get some teas. And again, we don't have I recommend one of the teas from Peru, actually, which was very good. I'm not sure if my mom has any left, but good stuff. If you ever get to go travel after the pandemic, go check out tea in Peru. Go check out Peru. Great country.
I guess I don't have many South American connections, so that's probably like one of my few you going to Peru is like my connection to South America.
I also went to Bolivia and Brazil, all in the
Oh,
same.
yeah.
But
What's your favorite? What was your favorite country out of those three?
of the three, oh, Peru for sure.
Peru.
And
Okay.
that was my dream come true, to go to Peru, good to go see Machu Picchu, go hang out with some alpacas and some other things that were pretty cool. And yeah, I was a far and away dream come true, and I'd been wanting to do that since I was like 10 years old watching Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Speaking of Harrison, great Harrison Ford movies right there.
We should do one time. We should do a Harrison Ford movie rankings.
Oh, man, that's a long list.
It's a loaded question.
That is a loaded question. Yeah. Comment, send us some questions for a mailbag for our next pod. Indiana Jones movie.
In case people don't, I was gonna say, in case people don't know, you're on vacation right now. Essentially, you're on vacation. You're getting time. You're getting paid vacation from SYP.
I wouldn't say paid, but yes, I am not actively. Well, I'm still doing selections, but I'm not actively potting.
No, basically. By the way, I have to check. I think there's a few days when I can do selections when there isn't a tips game that might help you getting closer to exams. But pretty much doing selection for the most part for probably another month or two.
Yeah.
So go vote on Saturday selections when they happen on Saturdays usually. Usually. So pretty much. So Scott, I'm curious. So I'm watching Empire Strikes Back here.
Yes.
We're still at the beginning of the movie when Luke's out in the snow and they need to go find him. How do you think this movie's going to play out here?
Well, I'm going to ask you, like I did a couple hours ago, do you want a very in-depth, detailed answer, or would you like a short answer?
I'll do a short answer, please.
You want me to? I can tell you the last scene. I can tell you the whole plot. I don't want to. If people haven't seen this, I don't want to spoil the plot for them.
Who hasn't seen Star Wars? I feel like if you haven't watched Star Wars now, you're just an anti-Star. Like you just hate Star Wars and you don't care what the outcome of the movie is.
Well, and hey, there's people like that. Gotta respect them. Like if they don't like it, they don't like it, right? So, I'm
gonna make some more hot water, some tea. So just carry on the podcast for like 2 seconds as I set the kettle.
Ian's gonna make hot water for his tea. So, yeah, viewers, I don't know. People that don't know, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I will ask me any trivia about like the 9, like the Skywalker saga, like the 9 movies, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ask me anything about those. Ask me about Rogue One. Ask me about the solo Star Wars story, like the Clone Wars, Mandalorian. I have not watched it, so don't ask me anything about that. But ask me anything.
Do you know anybody who has Disney? We talked about this outside of Malin, but like, does anybody in your building have Disney? Like, any of your friends have Disney Plus? Do you know?
Not that I know of. I also don't really pose the question to ask. It's
really? That's not a question you're asking people. Like when you're at the gym, like, yo, hey Keith, do you have Disney Plus? By the way, it's just like, no, I'm doing.
Like Keith's name. Why would Keith have Disney Plus?
I don't know. Who else goes to the gym with you? Does Lance go to the gym with you? Does Bradley go to the gym with you?
Well, here's the thing: is I don't go to like a gym that's off site. I go to the gym in the building here. The boys go they go to the boys Kevin and Keith go to Worlds. Lance is at Global. Bradley might have gone to Global as well. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyways, yeah. Hey, cardio, big cardio guy. People know me, big cardio guy. So.
You got that I always make the joke, but you don't laugh, but I still make the joke about the Colby Covington porn star cardio comment that he made, and Scott doesn't like it, but I do. I think it's funny.
I just don't know the context of it. I think that's part of it.
Well, Colby Covington, if you don't, you probably wouldn't like him because he was a pro-Trump UFC fighter.
Yep, there you go. There's your answer right there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like him.
I don't know if it was like a gig that he was using like to build hype, right? Like kind of like, in wrestling when you have like your heels and your what's the other one where people like you? Fuck, I can't remember. But pretty much like, I don't know if he was trying to like build heat by like, oh yeah, go Trump, winners only here. And then he just goes lose fights.
Oh, interesting.
But there's like obviously like people who hate him because he's a pro-Trumper, but also people who love him because he's a pro-Trumper.
See, and that's just it. You like we talked about, and this is a common theme. You can't please everyone.
No.
Again, is Covington like, is he a good, like, if he, I don't watch UFC actively, but if he was a good fighter, I would respect him for his fighting. Would I appreciate that side, like, of his political views? Probably not. But again, that's just my opinion. And, I think you got to respect someone. And this goes for a lot of things in life. You respect them for what they can do, not what they look like or their thoughts on other things. Like,
I think it's
if they're
actually
good at
like
sport, they're good at sport.
he's actually like a half decent fighter. I think he just
There you
lost
go.
his last two fights or whatever to like Kamaru Usman, who is like the world champion, and then
Usman's a good fighter, though.
Usman's a really good fighter. Like that's not a bad loss per se. And then the other one, I think he lost to maybe Paulo Costa. I want to say it was, who's
Okay.
like number one ranked or number two ranked
Yeah.
fighter in a division.
What division is that?
That's the middleweight division.
Yeah, middleweight's pretty stacked, I've heard, isn't it?
It got some. Yeah, lightweight is the one with that Nurmagomedov, Habib.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That one was a loaded one that he gave up, but it's still quite loaded. Middleweight's actually not bad either.
Is there a best UFC weight class?
Oh,
On the men's side.
that's a really good question. Like pound for pound, like actual best weight class.
Sure. Yeah. Or like the best crop of like fighters, like the most star power in a weight class per se.
I'm gonna say it's the lightweight one because that's also the one that McGregor technically fights in. That's the one that Diaz is in.
Right. So some elite, some top end fighters here.
Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier.
Yeah, for sure.
By the way, water's boiling, so you're gonna have to carry this. Talk about UFC because you know it so well.
Yeah, I'm a bona fide expert in UFC. I'm actually not at all, but I respect. Honestly, I know some people that are in the UFC, some former colleagues of mine, and I respect the hell out of UFC fighters. They're unbelievable athletes, and all props to all of them. McGregor, obviously, he's got a big fight against Poirier. I think it's in July, June or July, coming up. UFC, whatever UFC 264 is. So that'll be a big fight. I'm sure SYP will cover lots of that, and big. That's gonna be like his legacy there. McGregor's gotta do some. He's gotta like make stand up for himself and actually put up a good fight if he's gonna keep his legacy as a top best or a high end UFC fighter, if not one of the best of all time. Or best of this generation.
It's funny you mentioned McGregor because I was having this conversation with my dad.
Yeah.
Last week I think it was, and he says McGregor's done. McGregor's like washed. Over. They're doing. Did you say that Poirier and McGregor are doing the rematch? They're doing
whatever UFC 264 is.
Yeah, they're doing a third fight between the two of them. I thought it was an interesting conversation. I don't think he's washed. I don't think that was the right circumstances for him.
Here's the thing, Ian. Here's the very interesting conversation. I'm a golf guy, so I look at someone like Tiger Woods. People 2012, 2013 thought he was done after several, and you were one of them, after several back surgeries and all the shit with his divorce and the cheating scandal and all kinds of shit.
I was gonna say I remember the day when he crashed his car. Not the most recent one.
Like the one before, yeah. A couple almost 10 years ago.
Over 10 years ago.
Yeah, crazy.
I was living in the States at the time too, and it was like one of the fucking weirdest things.
It was a big thing on the news. But yeah, anyways, it's very like that whole aspect of it. It's like the greats will rise and they will succeed again. And Tiger, as we know, has won a few tournaments. He won the Masters in 2019, which was big. And I was like, fuck yeah, like that's my guy right there. So
it's also a really good. I mean, and we don't have time to go into it tonight, but it's a really good conversation about sports psychology.
Yeah.
Like it's a really fun conversation talking about the psychology of an athlete and what it takes, especially at the high performance and that elite level that they're at, and the pressure that comes with it, especially like Conor McGregor in the UFC when you're maybe performing, like when you're actually in the physical event or the sport that you are actively partaking in twice a year.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 times a year, but on average, like twice a year.
For 2 or 3 fights a year, yeah.
2 or 3 fights a year.
That's an average, yeah.
And if you lose one of them, if you don't do well in one of them, that's a big setback.
It can be, at least, and that's the thing about fighting is that it can be so detrimental, especially because it's like, well, you may not get a fight for who knows how long, and that's like your career. That's your career. You've basically done your whole life. You've trained for this, and for it to, a loss can do a lot. But again, it just depends who you are, right? And sometimes you get a lot of fights, and it's
It's the Leon Edwards. I don't know if you know Leon Edwards. So pretty much, he's a British fighter. He's from England, and because of the pandemic, he was actually scheduled to fight last spring in 2020. But because of the pandemic and because of travel restrictions and trying to find him a fight, he hadn't fought for over a year.
Wow.
And he just fought 3 weeks ago.
Did he win?
It ended in a no contest because there was an eye poke.
Oh, that was the eye poke. That's what that was. Oh, I remember that. That was quite controversial.
And I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, Leon Edwards accidentally eye poking a guy, and it just ended in a no contest because you fucking eye poke somebody.
Yeah.
He hadn't fought for over a year and a half, and it's just like one of those fucking things.
No, for sure. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, but very, very trying times, and even like you talk about like not getting fights, and you look at like a lot of people in playing even just from like recreational sports to even like some of these like middle tier leagues. Like there were some dub guys that hadn't played hockey in a year or hadn't played a game, and like for them getting ice time was very tricky. There's a lot of money, and like costs a lot to go to a private rink, and it's very, for some kids it's very hard because again a lot of kids just either haven't they've obviously been to school but it hasn't been the same, and they're able to play sports. So it's like, what do you do after school? You sit at home, play video games, or I don't know, do like when it's snowing, like watch movies all day and
watching Star Wars from chronological order.
Which is again in essence, you would think like for if you have it like for a week, that sounds like a lot of fun, but this is now like over a year at this point.
Yeah.
So it's tough. It's tough going, but
I can't imagine like scouting or trying to draft players this year.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I mean, football is a bit, because the NFL draft, I think, is actually later this month, which is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously there's more film and more accessibility when it comes to football and their prospects.
Oh, absolutely.
Hockey is all over the fucking map this year.
Without a doubt. And again, some guys have played full seasons, depending on what league you're in, and some guys haven't even played like 5 games.
And yeah, and then there's basketball, who, as of this recording, which we've now crossed into midnight on Saturday, so now early Sunday morning, Jalen Suggs for first overall pick this year from Gonzaga.
I mean, that shot he hit today was pretty sick, but yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if he's the best player on Gonzaga, but he looks really fucking good. Like, quality player.
Is it Schmitz, or what's the guy with the headband and like the goat? Sorry?
Like the mustache, like the little pedal.
Yeah.
Austin Matthews look.
Yeah.
I think his name is like Tim or Time or Tim.
Oh, like Timmy or something. Yeah. Anyways, I think he's one of the
Timme, I think.
He's pretty good too.
Yeah, he's a big man. He's the BMO. He is the literal BMOC in this tournament. As my father has called me a few times, the BMOS, the big man on screen.
On screen. I like it. That's a good one. You should use that one again.
I'll caption that as my next Instagram post. BMO.
You get your whole your Zoom set up, and yeah.
This
big man on screen. I like it.
The thumbnail of this video is just me flexing hard.
I mean, hey, bro, you do you. You run the show.
Speaking of flexing, do you know that the Manners starting pitcher who won tonight, his name is Chris Flexen?
There you go. I did not know that, but that is a good fact. That's good to know.
Pretty badass.
Pretty badass. Hey, your Mariners won, and shout out to I think it was like 12 people who picked the Mariners.
Oh, so how many people tires do I have to slash?
Here, I will not drop names. Don't worry, I'm not.
We can discuss that in public, or in private, who we have to slash.
So there are 14 people's tires that you're going to be slashing.
Oh, nice, cool. More people voted for the Giants than the Mariners.
No, more people voted for the Mariners than the Giants.
Okay, I thought you said 12 for Seattle.
No, 22 for Seattle.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
you're
what was I gonna say? So pretty much again, this is Easter weekend. Do you ever, how do I put this? Did you ever get much religion as a kid? Like, did you ever get the story about Easter and why we have Easter?
yeah.
I don't remember it. I don't think I ever got it as a kid. I was having this conversation with my grandparents this week where, like, obviously now I know the story, and obviously like I know why we celebrate Easter, obviously, and all this sort of stuff.
For sure.
But as a kid, I have no idea. I just thought it was always like the Easter bunny, and we get to have candy because it's Easter. And
well, that's the best part of Easter, getting all that chocolate.
Yeah, it's not the religious implications. Fuck that.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but it's
just did.
My favorite part of Easter is the chocolate. So
do you have a favorite chocolate, by the way? Do you have a go-to chocolate that you really enjoy?
Like a chocolate bar or
chocolate bar and or other chocolate that you want?
That's Ian. For me, it's a very loaded answer. I'm a huge chocolate fiend. I'm pretty sure people do know that about me.
Are you a dark chocolate or a milk chocolate?
I actually am a dark chocolate guy. So well, you get out of here with that. I love both. Don't get me wrong, but I like some dark chocolate. Like probably Kit Kats are probably my favorite. I would say. The Cadbury mini eggs fucking slap. Let me just make that clear.
What are your thoughts on Kinder eggs?
Kinder eggs. If you're under the age of 14, they're cool. If you're above 14,
grow up.
Yeah. It'd be like it's fun to get when you're like older. It's like okay, it's a good joke. Like haha, like got me some Kinder egg. Got me like that little toy that comes in.
Yes.
Comes with it.
Usually bullshit, like a screw and a driver or something.
Hey, sometimes those things are useful, bro. Anyway, but yeah, it's yeah, I don't know, fun every once in a while, but like if you do it all the time, like come on, like.
I was gonna say Kinder eggs for myself. I remember enjoying them as a kid, and now I can't even touch one because it just feels like plastic.
Wow.
Not just the toy, like the actual chocolate. Just
the chocolate tastes like yeah.
It's almost Kinder egg is almost like the fortune cookie of chocolate.
That's an interesting analogy, actually.
But so you like Kit Kats, you like Cadbury mini eggs.
Give me some brownies, dude. I'll eat those all day, every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ask
my roommate. He knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, my roommate knows that. Yeah. And roommates next year, you guys know who you are. You guys know too. You guys will know next year. So.
I'm trying to think if there's like a favorite candy bar that I really like.
You're a candy corn guy, which still makes me cringe.
I love candy corn. Candy corn.
You make me cringe so hard. That's
no, candy corn is so good.
No. Okay, we gotta make a poll. Is candy? Actually, we've probably done that before. Is candy?
We've done that every Halloween where we have. It's the like yearly debate of like, is candy corn good?
And the votes don't change. It's still
no. Like 2/3 of people say no, candy corn is not good. It's disgusting. And then there's like a third of people I think who just vote like give me sympathy votes who just say yeah sure candy corn is good, but they probably are just saying that to agree with Ian, not because they actually enjoy candy corn. I feel like I'm the only one who will eat candy corn because it's good and it tastes good, and I stand by that.
There you go. Hey, ladies, if you're single, you watch this podcast and you like candy corn, this is your man right here.
HMU.
This is your man right here. This guy, Big E, right there. That's your guy.
I don't think that is it really that big of a hot take that I like candy corn.
See, you know, I think a lot of people don't like it, and that's why people call it as a hot take. But it's like again,
everything is subjective.
There you go. Exactly.
Speaking of subjective, I just want your opinion. Some asshole that I took to the airport within the last year, he left his jacket in my car, And I'm just wondering if you think I should go through the pockets and see what's in here. It's a medium jacket. It doesn't fit. I don't know if you'll even be watching this, but should I go?
I'm surprised you haven't gone through the pockets already, because if there's something important in those pockets, you might want to see them.
I actually forgot I even had his jacket because I put it in a safe spot in my closet. I was doing some spring cleaning last week, I guess it was, and
Nice.
I was like, oh yeah, I got his jacket.
There you go.
What's a candy or a chocolate that you outright hate, without a doubt, that you will not touch with a 6-foot pole?
I don't know. I was gonna say Coffee Crisp, but I have tried Coffee Crisp, and it actually is pretty good. So I'm not gonna say that. Coffee Crisp is good. A candy, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not a big like candy guy. Like chocolate, give me some chocolate. But like, like the sour keys, like
Oh, yeah.
like like what's I was like, I don't know.
You like those little strawberry and banana type candies?
Not really. Like, Jolly Ranchers. That's one. Like,
Oh yeah.
a lot of people like Jolly Ranchers. I am not a candy guy. I don't know. It's something about like the sugar and this like it just doesn't make. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of it. So.
You like Peeps?
Sorry, what?
Peeps. Do you know what Peeps are? Like a little bird? Yeah. Okay.
Again, I'm not a big candy guy. Give me some chocolate and I'll eat it all day. But candy, not my thing.
I think there is a candy that I mean, I'm sure there is, but I can't think of it.
There probably is.
I don't like coconut, I guess is what I don't like the coconut joys. I think it is like anything with coconut. I'm actually not a big coconut guy, which probably.
Really?
Yeah, I mean.
You need to go somewhere tropical and try some coconut there.
It's actually a really big debate in my household about vacationing in Hawaii, which obviously we can't do now, or at least not morally. You can't vacation in Hawaii at this time. But
sure.
But both my mother and father have been to Hawaii, and they said they would vacation in Hawaii, and they go and vacation again in Hawaii.
I've been twice. Once I was 3, but the other one I was 15. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
The Hawaii never is I've never had the want or need to go to Hawaii.
See, I find it very funny that you say that, because you're not a cold weather guy, but you also don't seem to like the super hot either.
Well, part of it is that when I travel somewhere, when I go somewhere, I want there to be like a purpose or a reason to go. And whether
you go to Hawaii to get a tan and to like enjoy the heat.
I don't tan, I just burn. There is no in between stage for me. I either burn or am pasty fucking white.
Sure. Okay.
But like, I like to go somewhere where I can cover something, or where I can go or like cover a sporting event or go and watch a sporting event. But that's what I realized as I got older with my parents, where it's like they want to go to Hawaii to relax and to vacation and to not do anything for like a whole week.
And hey, sometimes that kind of trip honestly is the best. I remember like grade 12, my mom, sister, and I went to Cabo. One of the best trips of my life. We basically sat on the beach, did nothing for the whole week. Albeit it was after like some of the busiest months of my life, but.
Well, that probably helps. That makes it even better.
Oh, it was the best. It was awesome.
And that's kind of what I realized that as I've gotten older, obviously, like I didn't understand that as a kid, but now as I've gotten older, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see where you're coming with this, but like, I'd still rather go to like LA and watch a Dodgers game.
Okay, Los Angeles was beautiful. That's the thing.
I love Santa Monica. I'd rather go to Phoenix and watch a baseball game. How about that? Or a hockey game in Glendale than go to Hawaii.
Hey, everyone's opinion. Fair enough.
Maybe I'm just like such a sports centric guy. That's why it is what it is.
That's probably it.
That's not the right cord. I just need to charge my computer here. Yeah, that's why we're still in the planning stages to go to fucking Edmonton during Christmas or during New Year's to go cover juniors, because otherwise I would have no reason to go.
Other than because it's minus 20 there on a good day.
And that's also not the right chord.
Are you having fun there, Boomer?
Fuck you. Fuck you. That's a fair but tough comment for me to swallow.
Hey, I'm a pretty nice guy. Sometimes I got to keep you in check, though.
Well, I think I was having this conversation with Armin and Alexis, his girlfriend, about how I'm probably the one who like talks shit to everybody the most.
Maybe.
Like I feel like I say more shit. There we go. I feel like I say more
compared to who?
In our friend group.
Okay. Yeah.
I between like Fuji SYP, who's doing writing and articles for us. So we'll probably get him on some more pods here coming up. And Armin, you and I think I talk the most shit.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
I think
that's a pretty valid point. But you know, it's all fun and games. We all throw it around a little bit, right?
No, I do like it when you like throw in the boomer comment. The Four Eyes one I do appreciate too.
I don't give you Four Eyes treatment.
No, but some people do, like when Neil does. That's pretty funny. American, when people call me like when they make like any sort of a relevant American jokes, I appreciate and I enjoy.
All right. Hey, if you're okay with them, then that's the again. I wouldn't make those comments, but there you go. I mean, you are a dual citizen after all, which, and it goes every way. It's not like one person gets all of it. It goes back and forth to everyone.
I mean, you guys make fun of me for being a Red Wings fan, and yet we, as of this recording Saturday night, have one more point than your Anaheim Ducks. So
hey, I'm getting made fun of. My dad's giving me shit for being a Ducks fan this year. I called him. Sorry.
As if the Oilers are going to go far this year too.
Well, they'll go further than the Ducks.
Sure, but I mean, not everyone can waste McDavid and Draisaitl's prime like the Oilers do.
Hey, maybe they beat the Leafs. You know, we have a few Oilers fans here, and I'm like, of the 7 Canadian teams outside of the Canucks won't make the playoffs. I'm like kind of rooting for the Oilers this year.
I'm rooting for the Leafs.
Honestly, I'd like to see a Canadian team win. I think this might be the year that happens, personally. Might be it.
It's Toronto is the best. I mean, obviously, like now we're getting into the hockey talk, but like obviously, Anderson needs to get back and he needs to be healthy because the Maple Leafs. I don't care what the stats say. You can't be riding the Jack Campbell. I mean, maybe you can, but I mean,
maybe you can. Yeah.
You should be.
I don't know. He's looking like a pretty inviting piece for those Kraken next year.
We're gonna do that. We're gonna do that as a pod one time. It's just you and I create Kraken teams using cap friendly.
Yeah.
But isn't that Leafs versus everybody right now? Like I feel like the Leafs are the best team in Canada, and it's not really much of a debate.
In Canada, yeah, I would think so. Montreal's been like kind of washy, which has I would say their depth is probably better than Toronto's. But outside of that, no, Toronto's a better team.
They didn't even look that great against Ottawa tonight.
Well, they lost 6-3.
Yeah.
Ottawa played a good game though. They're very complete and they got some good goaltending from Forsberg. I know Forsberg.
Forsberg.
Yeah, just came over from Winnipeg. So
little concerning when he's not wearing. Are you ever concerned? Like this might just be me when I saw Forsberg taking a crease when he's not wearing the same colored gear as the team's colors. Like Forsberg had blue gear on, but obviously Senators are black, red, and white.
Well, here's the thing. Being someone that's in the hockey gear industry and the world, and I work with,
Oh yes. Sorry. Let me introduce you. This is Scotty K, SYP creator and senior hockey gear correspondent. Scott, what are your thoughts on hockey gear?
So based on Forsberg's gear, Senators are obviously black, red, and a bit of gold in their color scheme, and he was wearing white and blue pads for his goalie gear and stuff. And here's the thing with that: during the pandemic, there's been a lot of issues with shipping and getting equipment to guys and players. Period, like everywhere, no matter who you are, where you are, what sticks you have, that doesn't matter. So it's taking longer to ship things, and if they're coming from out of country, it's even harder as well. And goalie gear, because it's so rare, it's hard to get the right gear and like the right color scheme. And because
the other thing I should mention too is like work it in.
Exactly. And that's the thing I was just getting to. Is breaking in the gear. He probably didn't have a practice with the Senators, and he wanted to use his gear that he's been using for a while in Winnipeg for that game. So probably next game we see him, he'll have broken in some pads. He'll have had a few practices with them, and he'll be He might even just put like, I know there's a like you can just put a tape over like there's like little stickers type thing. You can like put the color scheme on it. It's just very simple temporary thing, but it works. Shout out to Drew Palm for giving me that piece of advice. I'm not sure if he follows, but Drew, one of my goalies in midget, good guy, great guy.
I feel like Drew does. Do you two things? Do you remember? I want to say it was Devin Dubnyk who was on the Oilers at one time, and he had and there was a shootout that he was involved in, and he had it. The knob of his stick was in orange.
Okay.
But I can't remember who he was playing. I'm gonna say they were playing the Kings, but I have no idea. I can't remember. And they asked him to change the orange on his sticker or on his tape because the orange was too distracting. So
I've never heard that before.
So they put the white tape over the orange tape. It was pretty interesting.
I have never heard that before. That sounds interesting. I have to look into that.
Video. The other thing, you see this a lot with mask too, by the way, like goalie mask.
Yeah.
Like Dustin Wolf, who was the backup for the Team USA at this year's World Juniors, had his silver tips mask with him. Like it was all green and it didn't match any of the colors the Team USA had, but it was all a green mask with like gray or white. What's the stuff in the fucking
the cage?
Cage, yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
So obviously, like the Team USA doesn't need to get you a whole new mask just because you're on this team, but
and that's just it, right? And that's very, if you look at a lot of the guys' gear, like it's especially noticeable in the goalie gear, but other players too, like you're not gonna have all these funds to be able to get goalie gear that's tailored to the team you're currently on. So for guys like for Hockey Canada is an exception, obviously, because there's a wealth of funding and all kinds of sponsorships go into Hockey Canada. So they're able to get the masks and for these goalies, and guys get all the gear, they get like all kinds of like merch and shit. Whereas if you look at a team like, I don't know, Austria, like their goalies gear, I'm pretty sure had like orange and like black pads, which again, close-ish, but those are his pads for Medicine Hat, the team he played for in
Matt Sogar was
Sogar, yeah, or it might have been Denmark or Austria, I'm not sure who it was. Anyway, it was Denmark, yeah. Anyways, so point being that some of these hockey nations can't afford to get the new gear, and the player themselves probably didn't want to break it in, as these are 17, 18, 19-year-old kids who can't really afford 3 or 4 sets of goalie gear every year. So
it might be just what the team wants.
Exactly.
So just trying to see if Mads was on Medicine Hat this year. Ottawa draft pick, by the way, bring it back full circle. Mads Sogard, Ottawa Senators draft pick in 2019.
There you go. They got quite a boatload of prospects coming through that system.
Yeah, Sogard has been playing in Denmark. 922 save percentage in 16 games with Esbjerg.
Do you want me to trust it?
ES.
ES, yeah.
B. J.
Yeah.
ERG. Energy.
Esbjerg, probably.
Esbjerg?
Probably, yeah, something close to that.
16 games, 922 save percentage with them.
Pretty good. It's good numbers.
Not bad. 6'7", by the way, he is.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Tall dude.
Very tall.
So again, we're recording this Saturday night. It's now 12:30 a.m. Pacific time. Are you one of those assholes? You know those assholes at parties? So like anytime you're partying and then you get into the early morning where somebody's like, oh, I gotta work tomorrow, and then someone's like, oh, you mean today? And it's just like, fuck you. I'm not.
No, I get what you're saying. I wouldn't be that like that. Like, I think I would. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. Like, no, that's like maybe in the right setting with the right person, they would think it's funny, but not to everyone. No.
That's a dick move. If you do that, stop. Don't do that at parties. People don't like that. People don't think you're edgy, you're cool because you're like, oh, you mean today? It's like, no, you mean tomorrow, asshole.
Yeah. After I sleep and get up, that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. That's the next day.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I might have done that once before, but it's not like it's to the right person and it's not in like a big party set. You know what I'm saying? Like
well, plus you do
knows who I am and they know my kind of sense of humor. So
I was gonna say you do that in middle school or high school when you still have time to redeem yourself, and not at like university when like this is arguably the peak of your success as a younger person.
dude, we're always getting better.
Exactly. So basically, yeah. So Scott and I both are doing some work tomorrow. I will be off this week as well as Scott because as we already mentioned, Scott's gonna be off for a while. No actual official podcast this week. Basically just a combination of the two fuck around podcasts. So, I mean, this might be going over 2 hours, so that might just be some free content that people are really gonna love. So you can't hate that.
Yeah, some good conversations the last few days we've had. That's for sure.
Exactly. But then I'm gonna be. I guess I can say this. We will be back on April 13th. At least I will be with our boy Jevin from the Left Side Heavy Pod. Shout out Jevin. We'll be doing some NHL trade deadline talk. Basically, we're recording on a Monday after the trade deadline, and then we'll be posting it on the 13th. So
nice. Look at that'll be a good pod to listen to while I'm studying.
yeah. So
go check it out.
I'm not gonna get into all the trade deadline topics now.
No, save that for that's a whole pod right there.
I know, right? It's a good thing we're doing a whole pod on that.
Yes, sir.
So basically, in case you also aren't paying attention, Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, it looks like the bad guys are taking over with the big machines.
The Empire is starting. They're striking back.
Fuck you. I knew you were gonna say that too. After you said Empire, I'm like, I swear he says that.
I thought you were gonna say it, so I just beat you to it.
No, I'm a bit better than that. Ooh, Hans and Leia just got out of the way of some explosion.
As they normally do. That sounds like a typical thing they do.
Do you would you are you more of a snow winter guy, or are you more of a summer summer guy?
So I love every season of the year. Fall is my favorite. It's my birthday. Baseball playoffs, hockey starting, all the sports are around that time. October is goat month. Anyways, am I a summer guy? So here's my logic. In the summer I can play hockey, golf, and other sports. The winter you can't play golf. So I'm gonna say summer.
It's funny you bring up months, because I remember my grandfather telling me about how November was the worst month of the year.
Really?
Yes, because it's cold, it's wet, it's miserable. There's nothing good because the celebration you have in November, or the holiday, is Remembrance Day.
Yeah, it's really sad.
It's really sad. It's pretty tragic. But it's cold, wet, not a fun holiday to remember. And usually,
I used to be of that premise, but after living in Kelowna for a few years, the weather's not bad for most of November. It's not.
But we have different, there's different climates in the Okanagan compared to the coast.
That's my point. Yeah, like I said, I had that thought before when I grew up in Squamish, but now living out here in Kelowna, it's a little bit different for sure.
Now that you've moved and seen the world just a little differently,
I moved and saw the world differently when I was 5 years old. So
you have a better understanding for how the world works.
And I guess, hey.
And we're all better for it.
Well, that's something I always, stress to people, and being someone that's traveled a lot of places when I was young, I get out and go see the world. You'll think of it differently. You'll have a lot of perspective on what you have and what you take for granted. It does a lot for you, and it's done a lot for me for sure.
When you last went to Europe, did you go to France? And I'm asking this because I'm still in the planning stages of going to France in about 2 years' time for the next Rugby World Cup. Did you go to France the last
Yeah,
time you were in Europe?
yeah. I was in France for like 3 days, 2 or 3 days.
Thoughts on France?
It's cool. Dope. It's a dope place. Paris, Paris is surprisingly gross. It's kind of a dirty city. The tourist areas are nice. The waiters and the waitresses, if they know you don't speak Parisian French, they will talk to you in English, even if you try speaking French. Learn that when we were asking, like, we are placing our order in French, and they, as soon as we were like, we said bonjour, and what we said, what we want for food, and they were like, yeah, and they just start talking English. I'm like, okay, cool, I guess that's fair. And yeah, definitely interesting how it worked. But
As Scott knows how much I know in French, it's gonna be very exciting seeing me in my French language knowledge try and navigate France.
hey, it's you were in Japan a few years ago. I'm sure you can handle French. It'll be fine.
There is actually a lot of English in Japan.
That's, yeah, I know, but
There,
Japanese is a significantly, in my opinion, a significantly harder language to learn as an English, fluent speaker than French is. French is a little closer to English in that regard.
so right now, well, I can say so. Right now, the trip is looking like with France,
Yeah.
Nice, Lyon, maybe to Bordeaux,
Nice.
Saint Denis, which is a suburb of Paris. If you don't know where the big France state is, it Stade de France, which is where the big stadium is in
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Also looking at possibly covering the Ryder Cup in Rome during that time. And also looking to get an F1, if not two F1 races in
Monaco. Hey, Monaco.
It's not going to be on that time.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, yeah, right. Monaco. We've talked before. Yeah. Right.
I appreciate your effort, though.
Hey, I'm just saying, Monaco's got a pretty dope F1 track.
Yeah. My other question is, have you watched Drive to Survive yet?
No, I answered that a couple hours ago. No.
Yeah, but we didn't record it. But you watch Drive to Survive.
I have not seen it. No.
Fine, whatever.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's a good show, and I should watch it, and maybe I will this summer.
See, no, but that would be great SYP content if you watching Drive to Survive, learning F1, and then giving your what would be your nickname and then reviews, because like Scotty K reviews, is that what we do? Is it a Big Eat Scotty?
No, we'll have to come up with something, but maybe viewers, we can do a little poll here. What is Scotty K's host name?
The other thing I haven't done, but I should do. Friend of the pod, Tanner.
Good guy, great guy. I love Tanner.
Wanted me to do not Big Eats, but Big E bridge reviews, because we were having this debate last week about bridges in Vancouver, and I said there's no good bridge in Vancouver.
That's a hot take. I think there are some good bridges. It just depends on what time you go.
But I'm not talking like Capilano Suspension Bridge.
You're talking about like
bridges
vehicle bridges. Yeah, okay.
I am a simp for the old Portman Bridge, but I mean,
I'm not surprised.
But I mean, like, I can't think of any good bridges in Vancouver.
The swinging bridge in Richmond that goes from like kind of Cessna Drive. That one's okay.
That's okay. Pound for pound, though, it's a little.
Pound for.
The Lionsgate Bridge is arguably the worst bridge.
Okay, that's when you go. That's because you go in rush hour all the time. Drive it at night, dude. That thing is unreal. Let me tell you.
Okay, but there's no reason to only have 3 lanes.
Oh, you're right. It should be 4 lanes easily. But
at least bare minimum 4 lanes, 2 each direction. None of this counterflow bullshit. But whatever. I am not an urban planner or an architect.
Maybe you should be. Maybe that's if you are that strongly opinionated about bridges in Vancouver, maybe you should go work with your dad in the infrastructure sector, and he can help build houses. You can build the bridges. It's a thought. Hey,
Wouldn't that be
this is late night thoughts after all. So
is that what we're naming this, by the way? Is late night thoughts?
well, you said it first, not
Late
me.
night 31 thoughts, and we just talk about hockey with Elliot Friedman at midnight.
See, wouldn't that just be the dream, getting Elliot Friedman on this podcast?
That would be pretty cool. Yeah,
that'd be really cool.
But yeah, no, late night 31 thoughts, and it's basically just us trying to get a hold of Elliot Friedman at midnight. Like, hey, what do you think the Predators are gonna do at the deadline? He's like, can you please stop calling me? I have a wife and family. Like, I have to get up tomorrow.
And for him, it's probably like we're doing this at 12:30 Pacific time. It's probably 3:00 in the morning for him.
It's probably almost 4 a.m. there, and it's just like, okay, but what would it take to get Erik Karlsson out of San Jose right now? And
less than it would to get him out of Ottawa. That's for sure. I'll tell you that for free.
Yeah, I mean that's probably a good take. That's probably a fair take. You should be doing some economics and talk about stocks.
Really? You're gonna make me mad again at 12:30?
Nope. You know what? I'm gonna take that back.
Thank you. Good. That is. Sorry, viewers, you couldn't see my rant earlier, but you probably don't want to see it again. It was
all natural, which I greatly appreciated. R2D2 just got tossed into the woods. He got yeeted. As the kids, as we used to say, yeeted. Is that was that a cool term in our?
That was like a couple years ago.
I feel like that in high school we used to say yeet or yeeted.
Might have been grade 11 or 12. I don't remember. Anyways,
that's when egos were big, wasn't it?
Maybe, dude. I don't know. That was a long time. High school was 4 years ago. I don't remember.
I don't remember much from high school either. Yeet definitely sounds like oil leaking out of R2D2. Definitely. I feel like you're ahead of me though. I feel like in terms of watching, you're ahead of me on Empire Strikes Back.
What do you mean ahead of you?
Like the guy's just walking now.
No, I saw what's happening right now.
So right now, for me, they're just putting the head on Darth Vader.
Yeah, I just saw that like a second ago.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in the same spot. Don't worry.
All right.
The feed isn't that off.
Might have to call Showcase and ask what's going on here.
Yeah.
You think we're the only two people at this time watching Showcase and Empire Strikes Back, or do you think there's definitely like 1,000 people that are like not hungover, but like definitely on the decline of being drunk, and they're just got this going on in the background?
Oh, I think people are watching. Again, some people don't have the access to a Netflix or a Disney Plus, or and this is like their movie night. And
the boomers.
Sorry?
The boomers.
I mean, could be. Who knows? The point is that some people, this is like the movie night. And hey, Star Wars, unreal movies right there. Like I said earlier, it's my favorite movie series. So yeah, great movie. Sorry, great movie series.
Oh. Man, this has been awesome.
This has been awesome.
I really enjoyed talking to you.
Yeah, me too. So viewers, we've been talking for probably about almost 4 hours at this point?
4 hours now. This has turned into a Joe Rogan podcast.
It has a little bit.
Except we haven't talked about psychedelics or aliens or what else does Joe Rogan talk about? I haven't listened to one of his episodes in so long.
I haven't.
This has been great.
This has been a good pod.
I don't think there's anything else late night thoughts that I need to discuss here with you.
I don't know. We've chatted for a long time, and we could probably do this in a couple weeks and have like another 3-hour conversation. That's just how it is sometimes. I'm currently doing notes for my nutrition class right now.
How's that going, by the way? What are you learning in nutrition?
Learning the difference between, or not the difference, like the
macro and micro carbs.
No, right now we're talking about mental health and the impact of food on it, and it gave us a list of some foods that are good for your mental health and help with like stimulating serotonin and dopamine and some positive hormones and neurotransmitters that are like really good for making you feel better and not depressed.
Goji berries.
Sorry, you want to say that again?
Goji berries?
Berries. Well, I am assuming if they're anything like blueberries, blackberries have vitamin C. So yeah, that would be one of
I feel
them.
like they're like blackberries. I don't actually know.
Yeah,
What's the
vitamin C. Vitamin C, that'd be good.
is it acai?
Acai, yeah, that's something.
Is that a berry? Is that a fruit? I don't know what acai is.
Acai is like, it's kind of hard to explain.
Is it like a mango?
Sorry?
Like a mango?
No, acai. They're berries. They're based in South American rainforest. I actually acai like juices and fruit is very good.
Yeah, you see it in booster juice all the time.
You do, and it's high in antioxidants, which is what again, super helpful, right?
Sure.
Sure, there you go. Take it from me. And
This is I believe this is now there's a group of people. I believe this is an Interact commercial that I'm watching here. And it's a lady in a van with her dog. And
yeah,
e-transferring money. She was just at a food truck, and it's just her and herself with a dog van lifing.
yeah,
That seems ideal. I'd like to take Kazo and just go for a van ride and
that'd be great.
across the country.
Hey, that'd be the life, Take your dog on some pretty wicked hikes. It'd be good.
See how far he can swim. He's a big swimmer.
Is Caslo a swimmer?
Yeah, big swimmer.
I did not know that. Yeah.
He might be the Michael Phelps of dog swimmers.
Is that a hot take?
Hot take. I'm willing. I mean, in his prime, I'm willing to put him up against any other dog that swim, a high quality swimming dog, and I'm willing to put my dog up against in his prime. I'm willing to put him up against anybody.
His prime.
He's obviously getting too old now.
How old is Caslo now?
About 9, I think.
No, he's not as old as my dog. Scouty is almost he's almost 13. He'll be 13 in October.
Wow.
Yeah, and for a big he's getting up there. We're worried. He might be he's getting old, that's for sure.
Why does he always bark when I show up, and then he never wants to be around me when I do get comfortable? And
he's protective of my mother, probably. That's what it is.
Probably. He's actually probably a very good dog, and he just, for whatever reason, doesn't like me.
He loves you. Come on. He's
Yeah.
probably just jealous that you hang out with Castle more than him. So.
Well, he probably sees the black hairs on my clothes, and it's like, "Have you been hanging out with other dogs without me?"
Probably. That's probably why I didn't like you.
I love other dogs too.
You're basically just rejecting him. He doesn't like that.
One of the pet peeves I have of my dog is he doesn't socialize with other dogs, or he hardly does at the dog park anymore.
Interesting.
You know what he does?
What does he do?
Either I'll have a stick, or I'll have a tennis ball with me or whatever, something to play with at the park, right?
Sure.
I don't know if it's just myself when I do it, but anytime we go over there, he just fucks off and eats grass over by the side, and doesn't even interact with the dogs, or doesn't interact with the ball or the stick. Now, I posted.
Hey, he's an introvert, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that.
But I posted this. I mean, he's getting more introvert. He wasn't always like that as a puppy, but I think as he's gotten older and he probably hates the world, he's becoming more antisocial. But I posted this on my story about one time because he eats a lot of grass.
Yeah, he's like a horse.
And well, I wondered if he was vegan at first. But no, apparently, also according to a friend of the pod, Tanner, it's because dogs eat grass in case they are going to throw up. Or
really?
They're kind of preparing themselves.
It's like whenever you drink salt and water, you just chug it and then you end up puking it out.
Yeah, something along those lines. So apparently for dogs, it's grass.
Really? I did not know that. See,
I didn't know that.
Guy. We really got to get that guy on a pod here.
We will. Tanner will be on a pod here. I'm hoping when both you and I can do it. So that's why when we're all out of school.
Hopefully May. Yeah, I know he's very busy with school this time. He's got heavy. He's second year science. He's got a heavy plate. Any of our science viewers will understand how that is. So
Well, and part of it is that I don't want to be that asshole who like doesn't get you involved because obviously like he's one of your good friends too. So I wouldn't want to.
well, I introduced him to the pod.
Yes, you did introduce him to the brand, so it'd be kind of a dick move on my end to have him on the pod without you being on the pod.
Well, you can do that. You also know who he is. You've seen him in person more than I have in the last year.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Technically, well, you saw him once dropping off the SYP shirt
Yeah.
again at social distance. I haven't seen him since last March.
Hot take: are you gonna come down to Vancouver one day this summer, and we're just gonna do big eats all around Vancouver? I feel like you would appreciate and enjoy that.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
Just take a day, and we'll just go around Vancouver, and we'll just kiss everybody on the lips, and we'll just hug everybody, go into buildings without masks.
You sound like Keith right now.
No. I'm like every Texan.
That'd be really funny if that was just Keith texting me there. That would be like hilarious.
Do you want to kiss RN? Is that what he would text you? Like, do you want to?
I feel like he could probably say something like that.
Who is texting you at this time of night, by the way?
Oh, it's just Kanta's appreciating our nomination of him as Saturday selections winner.
Oh, I thought it was some secret lover that you weren't talking about on the pod here.
Yeah, no, not right now.
We wish.
It's tough. It's tough sledding being single at this point because again, you can't really meet anyone. It's not it's not the easiest thing in the world. But you know what? It's okay. I'm doing well, living my life, doing the things. So
you're living your best life. You love to see it.
I'm doing well. Things are good. We're living the dream.
Do you know what's after Empire Strikes Back, like on Showcase?
I could tell you in a few seconds here. Let's find out. It's this ends at like 2:30, and it's the guest book. I've never heard of it. It's like
I've never heard of the guest book.
And then at 3 a.m. it's border security.
Oh hell yeah!
So if you guys want to stay up to 3 a.m. and watch that, border security is on Showcase.
You ever watch Border Security?
Maybe like a few times.
It's a lot of dumb. Well, I don't know about dumb people who just don't like people who are trying to break the rule, intentionally breaking the rules. Where it's like, oh, I didn't know I had to fill this on my customs form, and it's just
again, sometimes people just don't know, right? And it's very. Sorry, I'm just setting my alarm here so I don't like sleep in tomorrow.
Sure, but I mean, you also did have $12,000 in gold that you didn't claim on the customs card. So I mean, like, not for nothing. I feel like you could have marked that down.
Again, some people just don't know, right? And that's the thing. It's very I don't know. Border like airports and borders can be very scary for some people. It can be intimidating. There's so many people around. People are asking like tough questions, and if you've never done it before, it's hard. I can imagine it's very hard.
Especially coming into Canada, like I think we discussed on Friday when we were recording on Friday about how Canadian border guards are kind of dicks. Especially
that's your perspective. Everyone will have different perspectives, and but yeah, everyone's experience will be different. I just hope everyone has at least one good experience at an airport and traveling, and it's really important to have that when you're young. And
I guess because we can't travel, I'm getting travel vibes, wishing I could go somewhere. What's your favorite airport, or do you have an airport you enjoyed the most in your travels?
That's a really good question. Nothing like the home airport. Vancouver's motherland. A lot of people don't like Vancouver for whatever reason.
Functional airport.
It serves its purpose. My favorite airport I've ever been to. Wow. It's a really good question.
Can I tell you one of my favorite airports?
Yeah, sure, shoot.
I went to San Francisco on a layover, and that was the most futuristic white tile cool.
Yeah, that would have been pretty sick, actually.
San Francisco, I didn't mind.
Okay. I have a few. Probably Dallas Fort Worth. It's one of them.
Ooh.
Dallas Fort Worth's pretty nice. They've got like
Now, did,
six terminals, but they're like there's trains connected to it. It's actually super sick. I had like a 5 hour layover there, so I got to like ride along the whole thing. It was pretty cool.
now,
Uh,
did you land in Dallas or Fort Worth?
I think it's actually
I think it's actually Fort Worth. Like I think it's actually.
no, neither. I think it's actually Arlington. The airport's in Arlington, or it's close.
Oh, you might be right, actually. Yes, because
It's out.
if you don't know, it's all one big metro. Like the fucking Dallas Fort Worth metro area is like
It's
insane.
massive, yeah, and sprawling for hours.
Yes. So,
Anyways, it's all there, but that's the airport, and it's Dallas Fort Worth's pretty nice. Um, where else have I been to? The airport in Cusco was kind of shit, but it was really cool because it was so high up.
in
It was
where?
Cusco in Peru.
Okay, yes.
In Peru, yeah, because the airport was at 3,400 meters above sea level, which is pretty high.
Yeah, that's actually okay, yeah.
Yeah, pretty high up. So it was very cool. The airport was not great because it's not well traveled, but anyways, it was there. There's another one I had in mind that was really cool. Frankfurt. Oh, Frankfurt in Germany. When I flew into Germany, oh, that was quite something. That had like the vintage, like like the shutters, like for the flight times and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Massive board right in the front of the departures, like big shutter board. I thought that was so cool. I'd never seen it before. It was so cool. So
Because now when you like if you go to Vancouver, you get all like you go when you're departing Vancouver, you got all the big
yeah.
screens at the very like.
But here's the thing: it's digital. In Frankfurt, it's all like the flutters and yeah, it's dope.
It's digital in Vancouver. It's shuttering like how you think of it, like a movie or something in Frankfurt. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the classic, right? Like you always like stereotype like the airport scene. You see like that the airline. Yeah, it's super cool. Like the flight information and yeah, that was definitely probably Frankfurt, one of the best airports, and it was connected to the like the train network, which I cannot express enough how travel in Europe is far superior than it is in North America.
I was gonna say not even just Europe. I mean, Europe travel is really good. How pitiful North American.
Yeah, that's probably more of it. Is that Europe's just good and North America is just awful.
Just dog shit of travel. Like even like bullet trains in fucking Japan. Like imagine if we had some sort of concept. Like obviously I know the Rockies are tough to get over and build through and drill and whatever. But I mean, do you know how convenient it would be to be in fucking like Regina in an hour and a half because of
Yeah, a train that's going 300 kilometers an hour. Well, it'd probably be like 3 or 4 hours. But point being that it would be a lot quicker than a 2-day trip. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to deal with the bullshit of like airport. Like that was the thing. That was the thing that stood out to me was like train travel had just and not that you need to. You're just on a train, but I mean, like airport, you have to go through the whole like system of like security, and you have to check in an hour early and luggage and all that sort of stuff. Where for Japan, it's like, yeah, you have to be at this. Like, if you want to go to wherever you want to go, the train leaves at 8:15. Doesn't leave at 8:16. Doesn't leave at 8:14. The train leaves at 8:15. If you're not on the platform at 8:15, you're fucked. And
and that's the thing. Well, okay, I have a whole thing about trains, and when I was in Germany, that trains were always late. We had like a 6-hour delay one time, but that's an exception. Oh, some of the trains are terrible. And whatever. Point being, you're right. Like the train travel is very cool, and there's the lack of hassle in terms of like checking in, going through security, going through customs if necessary, and it's a whole process. You're right, but again, I love that shit. It's cool. It's a good time.
I was gonna say, did you ever get scared by a speeding train going through the station? Because so I'll tell this story. I was in Hamamatsu, which is because one of the places I stayed was Shizuoka. Well, not where I stayed. One of the rugby games was in Shizuoka. And because I was going to Toyota, which was further west, I stopped in Hamamatsu where my hotel was. And at the platform,
Yeah.
Big stations, by the way. These are like
Yeah.
trains are
I
going
can imagine. Yeah.
full speed through, and I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the screen or something, or I was doing whatever. I wasn't paying attention, and a
Sure.
train went 300K, absolutely roaring through the station, and it gives you like a little whoosh, like a little like you can hear it and you can like feel it a little bit, and it's just like, oh my god. And
Yeah.
it's a 300 kilometer train. It's like, okay, I'm fine. I'm fine. You're all good.
Yeah. Hey, fair enough. That's yeah, that's I would, especially if you've never experienced it before, it'd be scary for sure.
Have you had that?
Well, probably when I was like 5 or 6 years old living in China.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was, the train network there was quite good, and being in Shanghai, we went on the I think it was called the LRT, TGV maybe, train Grand Vitesse. No, that was in France. But anyways, something along like high speed train. So yeah, I've been part of it, but again, I was little, and you watch out for it, and you kind of expect it, you're aware of it, and yeah, I don't know.
And then fortunately we have I don't know what the Canadian is, it CP, I guess, is the Canadian version, or Amtrak is our version of high speed rail.
Well, there's out east in Quebec,
Or
Ontario, Quebec.
via via
There's
rail.
Via Rail,
Yeah.
and then CN and CPR. There's the Rocky Mountaineer, which goes to Banff, obviously, through the Rocky Mountains, and comes through Squamish as well. But yeah, it's yeah, Via Rail is like the train network in Eastern Canada.
High speed.
I don't know if it's high speed. I don't know if it's like super quick. Like the closest you would get is the whatever, like this obviously SkyTrain and the Expo line and all that in Vancouver, and then
And speaking of which, public transit just in Vancouver is dog shit for a city of over 1 million people. Like compared to like other places like Japan, other places I've been. I mean, LA's public transit isn't that great either.
yeah.
Seattle's kind of underwhelming as well, but it's more just a North American thing.
Yeah, again, underdeveloped. Let's think about this. Europe's been, traveled and been lived in for thousands of years, whereas North America, like with the technology, in essence, again, there's the whole colonization conversation again, but it's been, only couple hundred years where there's been serious population growth, right? So
Yeah, and Montreal has been under construction that entire time.
yeah, every city has in reality.
This movie's really starting to pick up here, isn't it?
Yeah, they're shooting that. Oh, they're in the giant monster's mouth, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's moving. Yeah, they're wearing like oxygen masks, and
Thank God it's
Harrison Ford's like falling all over the place. Yeah, okay, there you go. Chewie's alive, which is good. We love Chewie, goat character in Star Wars. I love Chewie.
Who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Of all time? Oh, dude, that's a really tough question.
Can I just say, maybe not my favorite characters, but in the sequels, like the little puffin birds on the one island.
Oh yeah, in the second on the island, the Luke Skywalker's island.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love to have those as a pet.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, I think a lot of people would agree with you there.
Those are really cute little birds. I like those birds.
I would say for me, probably, I don't know, Rey's a pretty boss woman right there, but Obi-Wan Kenobi is probably like of all time, like probably Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That's a good answer. I like that answer. I think Obi-Wan's got to be up there.
Yeah, Rey's pretty awesome too. Yeah, she's pretty sick. I was a big Mace Windu guy, like for a while, because you remember Lego Star Wars, like the Wii game? So in that game, he was obviously the guy with the purple lightsaber, but he was like actually pretty boss in the game too.
We had that for GameCube.
Oh, right on. That's sick. That actually is so sick.
Yeah, no. One of my favorite parts in the prequels was like, we rank you or we recognize you as a member of council, but we do not grant you the status as a council member to fucking was it Anakin?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
And it's just like, how can they not recognize me as a counselor?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, man. You're doing some sketchy things. you're doing some weird stuff. It's like, but I am the chosen one. It's just like, yeah,
Yeah,
well, maybe just stop flirting with the Republic a little bit,
yeah,
and
for sure. I also thought when I was younger, I also thought General Grievous was so sick because he had the 4 lightsabers. Like when I was like
yes,
8 or 9 years old, I thought, man, this guy absolutely like ripped.
kind of badass. Just like, hey,
Pretty badass, yeah. Like he's like a bionic man with like a cape, four arms, 4 lightsabers. I just have this image. Like remember when he's like spinning his arms so fast, he's like creating like the yeah. I remember that scene's pretty iconic.
like a turbine almost.
Yeah, almost. And he's like, it's him versus Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan obviously kicked his ass. So to no one's surprise, Obi-Wan's a goat. But
That's a good answer. I like that answer.
no, what about you? Who's your favorite character?
Oh,
That's a tough question.
Obi-Wan's a good answer. Um,
He's also in a lot of the movies too, which helps.
Yoda.
Okay, Yoda's come on.
Yoda
Is the goat.
Yoda is goat. I'm trying to think of like an outside the box person.
Yeah, someone you wouldn't think of. Qui-Gon Jinn, anyone? Liam Neeson.
Ooh, that's a so.
He was in half a movie though.
I can't remember. Fuck, I can't remember what his actual name is.
Describe him. Describe.
The old Obi-Wan in the prequels.
Oh, that was Ewan McGregor.
Yes, I liked his character. He played his character very well.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he did a good job.
Really fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody that I really. There's no one that I really. I mean, who's the new Han Solo? Or like the guy that they're trying to get to be Han Solo in the fucking new movie.
That's sort of a complicated answer because Han Solo is there for like an episode, and then he obviously gets killed in 7th in Force Awakens by his own son.
Kylo Ren actually is a really he plays his role very well.
Adam Driver is a very good actor.
Very good driver, but I'm thinking of like the guy who they're trying to get.
It was Finn. It was the stormtrooper that turned. Was it him?
Not him. The other one. Basically the with the BB-1 or whatever.
Poe Dameron. He's the X-wing pilot. He's not a Han Solo.
They're trying to make him to be the Han Solo, though, aren't they?
Well, no, but he's. Anyways, yeah, he's the elite X-wing pilot who actually.
Yes.
He's actually sorry. He's one of my favorite characters too. Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, he's a beauty actually. And BB-8's a goat character. Actually, hey, this should be one of our polls. BB-8 or R2D2?
R2D2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, we should have done our March Madness Star Wars character brackets because who's the worst character all time?
If it's not Jar Jar Binks, I don't know who.
Jabba the Hutt has some.
Yeah, there's an argument to be had there. I'd say Jar Jar Binks is the worst.
Jar Jar's probably the all around worst.
Like you take the worst character from the worst movie, and Phantom Menace is the worst movie of all 9.
Yeah, that's such
hands down. You cannot. There's no arguing that. Maybe Attack of the Clones. There's a place for it, but still, Phantom Menace is worse.
Yeah, I made a joke today with somebody that my dad wanted me to record whatever races there were this week.
Okay.
And there's no races because they're Easter. But he doesn't know that. But he's also gonna be really disappointed when he finds out that I also recorded Phantom Menace, which was being played earlier on a different network.
Oh boy, he will not be happy. That's for sure.
Zach could be thrilled when he sees that.
Yeah.
I think we should wrap it up. It's after 1 a.m.
It's bedtime. I got a big bike ride tomorrow, and I got to do some cooking for some stuff tomorrow. So
where are you biking? Lake Country?
Probably for Kelowna people up to Knox Mountain and back, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how I feel tomorrow.
Where is Knox?
You know where downtown is?
Yes.
It's the mountain right straight north, directly north. I cannot believe you've never heard of Knox Mountain Park. You've been in Kelowna hundreds of times.
What do you mean by north?
Like, you
Because
know,
basically,
like towards Vernon. You know where Vernon is.
well, yeah, but I mean, like Big White.
No, that's east.
So it's the mountain. Not the
It,
mountain that your school is on.
no. It's further south from that. Basically, you're in downtown Kelowna. I'll show you on a map later, but basically you're in downtown
I
Kelowna.
can't believe I'm blanking on this.
I cannot believe you're blanking. Yeah, you're a so-called geography expert, yet you're blanking here.
Hold on there. Now, don't you be spreading false lies that I am not a geography nerd. Okay.
You are. I didn't say you're not. I'm just saying that you are a so-called one, yet you seem to be blanking here. This is why I'm surprised. That's all.
SYP only lands. I name my favorite places. Who says no?
Yeah, I say no. Sorry, that's not gonna fly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you want to do what OnlyFans do in OnlyFans, don't only lands this shit. Like,
would you subscribe to my OnlyFans / OnlyLands?
I don't know. That's
You're not saying no.
I'm not saying no right now, but I'm not saying yes either. So it's a game time decision. How about that? We'll leave it at that.
We're gonna end this podcast here because we've been recording for over 4 hours. Well, we've been chatting for over 4 hours. We've been recording for what, 2?
Maybe an hour and a bit.
Hour and a bit. Final hot takes, takeaways, thoughts, anything else that you want to get off your chest, your beautiful chiseled chest before.
Man, you're too kind. Come on, you're too nice.
Dude, bro, you're cut, man. You get those.
Hot take. Since we've talked a lot about Star Wars, being that it's been like a background and a consensus of this podcast.
It's basically any segue that I needed to carry me over to the next topic I have. But yeah.
Yeah. Hey, it worked well. Hot take: Force Awakens is the best of all 9 Star Wars, or I guess 11 Star Wars movies.
Well, way to get us canceled. Now you're gonna get shit for that.
Maybe I should say it's the best of the like the new trilogy.
Yeah, that might be a little bit more.
That I actually believe that's not a hot take. That I think it's actually a fact. But
all right, well,
give us your hot take.
I think that's actually more egregious. I mean, I like the sequels. I think they're good. I don't know if they're better than any of the old ones, but
okay, you're right. The classics are the classics. Anyways, what's your hot take?
That might be more egregious than my candy corn take, by the way.
No, there's no way.
I think so. We'll do that as a poll. Like, what's more egregious, enjoying candy corn or saying fucking Force Awakens?
Force Awakens is better than the original trilogy.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, I might get some shit for that one.
We're all gonna get shit for this podcast. Holy.
But hey, that's the fun part, is people can make fun of us and we're okay with it. Like, bring it
on. Do I have any final takes?
Yeah, you do. You have so many hot takes.
I mean, I don't know.
You said a few hot takes already on the pod, but give us another one.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't know why, but I feel like one time Rav and I did a podcast and I did a hot take on the now known Washington football team. And every time my mind, just for whatever reason, keeps going back to the Washington football team for no good reason.
Okay.
Valid. I don't want to talk about the Washington football team.
It's not really football season, so it's hard to, yeah.
You shouldn't be talking about football. Do you know, man, first of all, you got a really good shirt on. I should have mentioned when we got on. What's your stick that you have, by the way? Tell the viewers what your stick is.
My stick that I'm holding right now?
Yeah.
Right now I'm holding a CCM Ripcord Pro 3. It's a good quality stick. It's not top end, but it's essentially the pro version of a Ripcord Trigger 3, which is what Nathan McKinnon actively uses. Good stick. Ovechkin curve P88. A lot of people don't use that curve. I get a lot of shit for that from my boss, but you know what? That's okay. It's my stick. I'm loyal to it. So yeah, it's a good twig. 87 flex, not a big deal. Yeah. Ian, you've got a Mako in your hand, I can tell.
And my hot take is that this Mako is better than your stick.
That's cap, but
And
it's a hot take.
This is caution, do not apply heat. I don't think that applies to this.
I don't know. The time you scored 2 goals, your stick was pretty hot that time.
I scored a hat trick one time.
You had a hat trick.
I did. Have I not told you that story? I had in an exhibition game, a Squamish versus Squamish game. I had a hat trick.
Oh, exhibition. Okay, it wasn't in a regular season.
Not in a regular season game. It was an exhibition game. And then I got in shit for celebrating because I held up a 3 to the opponents who were talking shit to me like before the game. Like
awesome.
I think who was on like the opposing team. I think Nolan Rutkowski was on the opposing team.
Okay.
Nolan and I are like really good friends now.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Will Boyer. Trying to think of who else was on the opposing team. But basically, like they talked like so much shit during school about like all like how we're gonna beat you and yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, sure. So then
that was like grade 7.
Yeah.
Nolan didn't go to school with us. Will did though. Nolan wasn't at Garibaldi Highland.
I feel like you're right, but I remember he was at least on the opposing team.
Sure. Okay.
Will Boyer. And yeah, they were saying like we're gonna beat you, we're gonna kick your ass, and you're not gonna be close. And then I scored a hat trick. Okay. I had 3 goals, and I pointed 3 at the opposing bench after I scored my 3rd goal. And I don't know who was reffing the game. It might have been Coop, but I don't think it was. I think it was somebody else. Said if it was a regular season game, they would have given me the unfortunate like 2 minutes, but because it was an exhibition game, he was gonna let this one slide.
Yeah, valid.
And we won 5-3.
There you go. So you can do
So I got to score a hat trick. I got to taunt my friends, and I didn't get a penalty. I don't think it was with the Mako, but it was still one of my good memories from minor hockey.
That was minor hockey, yeah. I have a good story about your brother, actually. I will quickly tell us. I'm sure you know it.
Oh, if you want to, you tell. I wouldn't, but you go.
Quick last story before we wrap this up. So Ian's brother Neil, you guys obviously people know Neil.
You know Neil more than me, probably.
Anyways, I love Neil. Neil's like a brother to me at this point, being that he's one of my best friends. And so Neil was in a turn. This is I think he was midget, might have been 2nd or 3rd year. I'm not sure. It might have been, anyways, whatever year it was. I was reffing that game for some reason. I was not playing on his team. I was somewhere else. I was reffing it with, I forget what it was, but anyways, not a part of the story. So in the game, Neil really didn't want to win. He was one of the better players on this team, probably the best defenseman on the team. And he really didn't want to win the game because if they had won the game, they'd have to play at 7 a.m. the next morning.
Was it the tournament?
It was one of the tournaments, and Neil is not a morning person by any means, and he will agree with me to like the grave. He'll say that without a doubt. So his idea, his thought process, instead of him just like turning the puck over and giving up goals, giving passes to the other team, his idea was to get kicked out instead. So he was doing everything he could to get kicked out. I think I'm not sure what he did. I think he tried to like hit someone really hard.
I don't think he ever like suckered a guy or anything.
No. But he was like taking penalties and trying,
doing like borderline dumb shit to see how
anyway,
far
so
he could go.
He took a penalty early in the game, and then he got out of the box. He's like, okay, so that didn't work. So let me try something else. So he goes. He's not happy with the early whistle. I think there's an early whistle. I lost sight of the puck, and he said like I think it was along. I'm not going to repeat it, but it was along the lines of like "F you, Scotty, go like F your girlfriend" or something like that. And that right there got him a 10-minute misconduct. Just again, it's just 10 minutes. Go sit in the box for 10 minutes. Go think about what you said and come back out and finish the game. So on his way, we escort him to the box. Okay. You know what? Like, you can't say that to a referee. So go sit for 10 and we'll figure it out later. And then as he's going to step in the box, he turns around, grabs my grabs my visor, like throws my helmet down, tries to like knock me off balance. My ref and colleague at the time, he sees that. He goes, boom, which that's viewers like the little like against the hips symbol. That's like another 10 minutes. So he got another misconduct. So 2 10-minute misconduct equals a game ejection. So we as referees didn't have to do paperwork, but he would be kicked out of the game. So it was ultimately a win-win. Didn't have to do any paperwork. So that was your brother verbally abusing one of his good friends at the time. I still am good friends with Neil. Verbally abusing and attacking a referee in a minor hockey game and getting kicked out for it. Just so we wouldn't play at 7 a.m.
In an effort not to play a morning game.
Yeah.
Do you know the story? I think one story anyways about us playing Sunshine Coast.
I've heard a few, but okay.
The one that stands out to mind is fucking toughest place to play was Sunshine Coast because those were the dirtiest guys for me.
Probably in house, yeah.
Probably in house because, I mean, by the time the third period came around, fucking hated it. Those guys were mean and I had enough and it was an early ferry ride to get there and food shit on the ferry.
For anyone that hasn't played Sunshine Coast, it's a full trip. It's a full day. You're playing one game and it's a full, like you're leaving at 7, 8 a.m. in the morning. You're getting home at 5 or 6 or like late.
I think it was earlier, if I remember, if we had to catch the right ferry and then get to
anyway, it was, it's a grind. Sure.
And there was one game we had to play Sunshine Coast. If you know me as a junior hockey, like minor hockey player, I was the guy who was always standing in front of the net. I was causing havoc, the Thomas Holmstrom type that Scott has mentioned before, like the guy who's just causing shit in front of the net.
Oh yeah, you're a problem.
And after one whistle, I got cross-checked into the back, I think into the net. Ooh. And my brother, who was playing on my team at the time, did not like that and started a bit of a tussle with one of the Sunshine Coast kids.
Classic Neil.
And I don't know if they got 5 for fighting because obviously it's minor hockey, so you can't fight.
Yeah.
But there was definitely like something involving at the Pee-wee level involving my brother standing up for me, getting cross-checked from behind against Sunshine Coast. I hate Sunshine Coast playing against them. Those guys were mean. The coach, I think we played with Liam Hudson too.
Yeah.
And Liam Hudson said that their coach said that they wanted to kill him or something.
That's 12. I could see 12-year-old kids saying that to a good player on a good.
The coach was saying that apparently. That's what Liam said. It's that the coach said that.
Wow. Huh.
Also, speaking of this is the last story. I'm just gonna end this here. Speaking of taunting and scoring, we played. I think it was North Van one time. We went to Karen Magnuson Arena, North Van.
Yep. Oh, Karen.
And we had to play a North Van team, and I remember the opposing coach was giving shit to the refs for making bad calls and why would you give them a power play or why aren't you calling it even? Why are we doing 4? Anyway, it's not the point. Sure. And so I yelled, I said to the fucking North Van coach, I'm like, dude, just shut up. Just play the game. Just shut up. And then the coach got mad at me for yelling at him. I was like, this dude's yelling at me.
Okay.
You just shut up. And and I kid you not, as I was going on the ice, I was saying that.
Yep.
I kid you not, on that same shift, I scored.
No way.
Wasn't as cool as me scoring the hat trick and pointing to 3, but it was still a funny moment where I scored.
Yeah. There you go.
Shut up.
Put him in his place.
Yeah, exactly. That's the podcast. Thank you very much for listening. Again, Scott's back. May ?
Early May ? Yeah.
Early May ? We'll be back April 13th for a full pod with Jevin from Left Side Heavy. Scott, thank you very much for taking the time to do this and chatting with me for over 4 fucking hours. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, worth it. It was good. Got some stuff done. Good.
And we'll be back again soon. Make sure to follow the brand. Subscribe to us wherever you find us. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Do the shit that you need to do as consumers, and we'll do our part. Have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the other episode. We only had one other episode for this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Enjoy that. Peace out.